When people travel to India, they often think of the Taj Mahal, Jaipur or Mumbai. But I've always been more curious about the south of this spectacular country, more particularly Tamil Nadu. This state on the southeast coast of India boasts gorgeous beach towns, small traditional villages and enormous temples. In this video, I will take you with me on my journey through this part of the world that not many tourists go to. I hope that I can maybe change your minds and make you curious about visiting Tamil Nadu as well. Pondicherry is our first stop. We arrive by train from Chennai and immediately feel the warm breeze from the Indian Ocean. This used to be a French colony, and you can really see that in the architecture, which resembles a lot more Europe than other parts of India. Technically, Pondicherry is not part of Tamil Nadu, it's a union territory, but the main language is still Tamil, and since it's completely surrounded by Tamil Nadu, many assume it's part of the state. Most of India was of course a British colony, but they weren't the only European power competing for territory and trade advantages in India. Other nations, including France, also colonized parts of the subcontinent. In the late 17th century, the French obtained an important trade town on the southeastern Indian coasts, one that was even mentioned in ancient Roman and Greek texts. It had long been a flourishing port, central to trade between Asia, Arabia and Europe, and changed hands many times before the Sultan of Bijapur leased it to the French in 1673. Over the next 300 years, the colonial powers in the region, mainly France, Great Britain and the Netherlands, fought over control, and all three ruled Pondicherry for at least a few years. When India gained independence from Great Britain in 1947, the French territories were given the option to join the newly formed nation. Pondicherry did so in 1954 and was officially integrated in 1962. That moving history can still be seen today in nearly every aspect of life. The French Quarter, the main point of interest for visitors, is full of yellow and white villas, long verandas, and wide boulevards shaded by towering trees. And if that isn't enough to make you realize that there's something different about this place, the number of boulangeries selling baguettes and croissants will definitely give it away. I couldn't put into words how amazed I was, walking through these streets and admiring how beautiful it all looked. It turns out you can leave France, but France will never leave you, and the high number of French tourists is just part of that. It's a unique cultural mix of French colonial legacy and the vibrant influence of Tamil Nadu that led Lonely Planet to rank Pondicherry as the second best place to visit in 2025. Even in religion, the French influence can still be seen today. While most of India and Tamil Nadu is predominantly Hindu, Pondicherry is home to several beautiful Christian churches. None is more impressive than the Sacred Heart Basilica, built by the French in Gothic style in the early 20th century. Pondicherry at night has a charm of its own. Once the sun sets, the restaurants and cafes around the French Quarter and promenade fill up with people. The restaurant scene offers a great mix of different cuisines from all around the world, mainly influenced by South Indian and French foods. But Pondicherry is also great if you're a coffee lover or vegetarian and vegan. Due to the high number of tourists, I was more than happy with all the vegan options I could find in the city. My personal favorite was the Hope Cafe, with its gorgeous graffiti on the walls and the delicious food. As much as I enjoyed Pondicherry, or Ponni as the locals call it was time for me to move on, more precisely to the impressive temples that Tamil Nadu has to offer. The first town on that list was Thanjavur, or Thanjavur as it was previously called. This city in Tamil Nadu has a population of around 220,000 and is best known for the Brihadisvara Temple, one of the largest and most impressive Hindu temples in the world. It was added to UNESCO's list of World Heritage Sites in 1987 and draws visitors from across India, though still relatively few from outside the country, so it might surprise you that you have to leave your shoes outside the temple. Brihadisvara is part of a trio known as the Great Living Chola temples, all located in and around Thanjavur. These temples were built over 1,000 years ago during the height of the Chola dynasty, which ruled much of southern India and left behind a legacy of temple architecture, bronze sculptures and Tamil literature. The temple we're sitting today is the oldest, largest and most significant of the three. It was completed in the year 1010 by the Chola king Rajaraja I and is still an active place of worship. Built in classic Dravidian style, the temple sits inside a large rectangular complex with high walls and several smaller shrines. Its towering central structure, the Vimana, is shaped like a stepped pyramid and reaches a height of over 60 meters. What's remarkable is that it was built entirely out of granite, despite the fact that granite wasn't naturally available in this area. That alone tells you how important this place must have been. You might have heard the word Dravidian before. It refers to the cultures and languages of southern India. The most prominent of these is Tamil, which is still the main language spoken in Tamil Nadu and one of the oldest living languages in the world. As I mentioned earlier, most international tourists don't venture this far south, so the crowd here is mostly Tamil Hindus, who come to pray and pay their respects to Shiva, the god to whom this temple is dedicated. If you're planning a visit, I recommend coming about 2 hours before sunset. That way, you can see the temple in daylight and stay until it's beautifully lit up after dark. The whole place has a magical atmosphere in the evening, calm, spiritual, and full of history you can feel in every stone. You can even visit the inside of the main temple, where the atmosphere completely changes. It's dark and cool with poignant sand in the air and the sounds of prayer and bells. Even if you're not religious, it's hard not to feel something in a space like this. It really does feel sacred. One thing that stood out to me were the incredible detailed carvings on the walls. Scenes from Hindu mythology, inscriptions in ancient Tamil, and rows of fierce-looking guardians decorate nearly every surface. It's worth slowing down and just looking closely. Some of the stories are over 1,000 years old yet still feel alive. The sun is now set and the temple lights up in a light that is just magical. There are no other words to describe it. After wandering around a bit, admiring the architecture and how different it looks in the dark, I just sat down, watched people walk by, and thought about how incredible it is to sit in a 1,000-year-old temple on the other side of the world from where I grew up. Being here made me feel incredibly thankful, surrounded by such peace. It felt like the right place to slow down and reflect on how lucky I've been to have been welcomed into this sacred space by such a warm and generous community. After Thanjavur, we'll visit another town which is about an hour from there, Tiruchirappalli. At least that's the name you see on Google Maps. Only after learning to pronounce that really long name, I found out that locals just call the town Trichy. Here there are two impressive temples that we will both visit. First, there's the Sri Ranganathaswamy Temple. I'm really sorry for butchering these names. Which was built on a rock. It was kind of hard to find the entrance, but once I did, I was told to take off my shoes and cover my legs. Unfortunately, I was only wearing shorts due to the immense heat, but some nifty businessman discovered the opportunity to sell these little towels that I could wrap around my waist. After seeing me failing to properly fasten it, some locals helped me out and I could climb the 437 steps to climb to the top and have a massive view of the area. However, there's a second temple on the big island in the Kaveri River. A rickshaw cost me around 250 rupees, and I could enjoy the views of the town and the river. Constant fear for my own life because of the driving conditions was included in the 20-minute journey. Once you arrive, you have to either leave your shoes at the entrance or you can deposit them for free at the cloakroom. The Sri Ranganathaswamy was massive and full of people because of a temple fest that was taking place that day. Its structure was similar to the temple in Thanjavur, as there were squared areas around the main temples. The worshippers visit to be blessed by priests or to pay respect to the gods. It is, however, much larger and older. Originally built in the 9th century during the medieval Chola period, the temple was expanded over the next 800 years. As a result, its architecture reflects a fascinating mix of styles and influences, all leaving their mark on this sacred complex. And its size of 631,000 square meters makes it the largest active Hindu temple in the entire world. In fact, it's not just a temple, it's an entire temple city with streets, shops, and even residents. This makes it an important pilgrimage site for millions of worshippers every year. Especially during the 20-day Vaikunta Ekadasi festival that takes place between December and January, more than 1 million people visit this temple. As I mentioned before, there was a temple fest while I was there. I really wish I could tell you what it was about, but my best guess is it was related to the festival I just mentioned because I did visit in early January. But I really don't know, so I'll let you watch it for yourself. This concludes my incredible trip to Tamil Nadu in the south of India. I attended a wedding in Bangalore and then spent a few days by the beach in Goa. If you don't want to miss it, please feel free to subscribe. See you then.